Today I'm going to do a comparison video between Noris Club pencils from Staedtler and the Faber Castell Polychromos pencils. Now both pencils are of a completely different quality. I think by now everybody knows that Polychromos is a high-end professional artist quality pencil, and the Noris Club by Staedtler is a, do you say lower end? It is cheap. I believe I paid only €3 for this set of 12, and this is not the worst pencil. Not at all. You can do great things with it, but I want to show you the difference. So in case you are still not sure how much money you want to spend on your pencils, then this is a nice video for you. So I'm going to test both of them in Johanna's Christmas, and I chose this Snowflake. I believe this is a Snowflake, and I'm going to color part of it with the Noris Club by Staedtler and the other part by Faber Castell Polychromos. I have only 12 colors from the Staedtler Noris Club pencil, so when I start coloring with Polychromos, I will do my best to find a color that comes very close to the Staedtler. I am starting with this one by Staedtler. It is a dark brown, and as you can see, there is this white stuff near the tip of the pencil, and that is a great invention because that white stuff prevents the point of breaking. So the lead is secured by this white stuff, and well, it's a great achievement that you can put something like this into a pencil that is so cheap. Really nice. So let's start with the deer. I'm using my light touch again, of course, and let's see what happens. I immediately feel that I need to press a little harder than when I use a Polychromos pencil. Now here's the Polychromos pencil, and I chose Van Dyke Brown. This color comes pretty close to the dark brown of Staedtler Noris Club, and immediately it is clear that with the same light touch much more color comes off, as you can see, and that is because there is much more pigment in the pencil. The pigment is the most expensive part in a pencil, so it is quite obvious why cheap pencils have less pigment, or cheaper I'm searching for the English word. They sometimes use cheaper pigments to replace the very expensive ones. So, here you are. That is quite a difference. Let's go to another color. Let's do this one. This is a bright red. Let's see what happens. And I think this one comes close. Pale Geranium Lake. Now it's interesting because that red Staedtler pencil, it felt like it is giving more color than the brown one. But as you can see, there is a difference. Now I wonder, this is orange, dark cadmium orange. Maybe this comes even closer. Oh no. The Staedtler is in between the orange and the red. Now let's go to green, and Staedtler has two greens. There is this light green and there's a darker one. I'm going to use them both. And then we can also see what happens if I add more than one layer on the paper. Again, I have to press pretty. I have to give some pressure. Now I'm going to pick the darker green, this one. Now I'm trying to get this color on top of it, and here you can see that there are all sorts of dark spots happening, and I think that is a sign that there is a lot of wax in these pencils that is preventing other layers to get a grip on the paper. Now, if you take your time, you can do nice things. But you are a little bit limited with these pencils. Let's add a third color. Staedtler, this is a dark yellow. Let's see what happens. Okay, it does find its way, so that is good. So this is the result of this leaf. Now I'm going to switch to Polychromos. Now I do not have the exact same color. The light green that comes closest is this light green from Polychromos, but it is slightly lighter than the Staedtler color. It is the end of the afternoon now that I'm coloring, and I have to say there is a gorgeous sunset. It is beautiful outside. So I have to be quick, because when the sun has set, there is no light for recording anymore. Anyway, this is the green that comes closest to the Noris Club one. Dark phthalo green by Polychromos also. So let's see what happens if I put that on top. Now I think you can see that the Polychromos are much better in layering. Look at that. Goes so easy. I'm now starting with a little bit more pressure, and then I'm slowly decreasing the pressure. So, and now I also have a yellow, Naples yellow. This one comes very close to the Staedtler Noris Club. Now let's concentrate on that nice present, and the bottom this lower, there are two, and this I'm going to divide this. This is Staedtler again. It is a light blue. Look at that, light blue. Let's find an equivalent. I think this light phthalo blue comes close. So let's try this one. And again, as you can see, it lays down color smoother, easier, with less visible strokes, pencil strokes. Now there's another pencil. Staedtler also has a darker blue. Let's see what happens if I use that on top of this. Now this is interesting, because this blue, it seems like the blues are okay with layering. A little bit more than the green colors. And I chose cobalt blue as a color that comes very close. Look at this. But again, the layering is much easier. Much easier, yes. Let's go to the top present. There is some sort of purple in the set. Let's make that ribbon. And I recently learned it is called a ribbon tied into a bow. Thank you for teaching me that. Look at that. Now I don't have a perfect match, but I think magenta comes close to the purple in the Staedtler set. And you can immediately see, I think, what the difference is. It's not, the colors are a bit different, I have to admit. Look at that. Now there's a lighter color in the Staedtler set, and this is a pink, a darker pink. Oh, I forgot a piece. Let's make this present pink. This color does great. When you have cheaper sets of pencils, you may notice that there is little consistency in the softness of the pencil leads and the way they put their color on paper. I think that has something to do with the pigments used and the binders that are in it. And although again this is not the perfect match, but I'm choosing pink Meadow Lake, and the sun is setting. Oh dear. I hope I will finish this in time. There is also an orange in the Noris Club set. Let's try that one. And this dark cadmium orange comes closest, although it is slightly darker. And this goes so much easier. Much more color. Now there's also a very light, it is a flesh color. Let's see what that does. I really have to push to get this color visible on the paper. And I chose this one, the Polychromos Light Flash, although there is a little bit more pink in this Polychromos. I think it comes close. Look at that. And with one stroke, this pencil does what many strokes of Staedtler Noris Club do. Then there is one pencil left, black, and although it looks a bit silly, I am going to make this leaf black just to give you an impression. This is a very light touch. Now I am adding more pressure. And let's do the same with this black from Polychromos. Just a very light touch. And this is so smooth. and I can do in 2 layers what Noris Club does in. It just takes a lot more time. Now the conclusion is, of course, but you already knew that before I started doing this video, that Faber Castell Polychromos is a completely different level of pencils. The conclusion is that these Noris Club pencils, they are not that bad, if you see what you can do. But they are not so good in layering and therefore in shading and stuff like that. So, but if you take into consideration that 12 of these pencils only cost €3, that is not much. That is 25 cents per pencil. And then this pencil has an anti-braking system. Well, anti-brake system, yes. So that is not bad at all. So I just wanted to show you the difference. Here's a close-up. I think you can see that there really is a difference. And of course I will stick to my Polychromos pencils and my Bruinzeels and my other beautiful pencils. But I think Staedtler did a great job putting that anti-brake system in such a cheap pencil. I think that is really, really good. So, if you have a limited budget, then Staedtler Noris Club can give you a lot of joyful hours of coloring. Although I would prefer to try to save a little bit more money and go a little bit, take a type of pencil that is a little bit softer with a little bit more pigment in it. There are a great range of beautiful pencils that are not as expensive as Polychromos and not as cheap as Staedtler. So whenever you buy a new set of pencils, try to test them out first. So I would almost say don't buy them online if you have the possibility of trying them in a store close to you, because that is what I did. I tested all my pencils before I bought them, and I eventually bought sets online as well. The only set that I didn't test was the Erogiton. You can't get them here in the store. But I read dozens of reviews. So, this is it. If you have the book, Johanna's Christmas, I wish you a lot of coloring in it. And if you have other books, then I wish you a lot of coloring in your other books. Bye bye.